Good morning, sixth and seventh graders. You can probably see behind me that it is not the morning that I am recording this, but it should be the morning when you see this of April 7th, 2021. So, welcome to Language Arts. The first thing that I wanted to reiterate is that you should be reading 15 minutes for class time and filling out your R2S. And then your assignment for at home is to read 20 minutes. So it's really that you need to read for 35 minutes and make sure that you fill out your R2S. Um, so I just wanted to make sure that that was in there. If you need to break it up, you don't need to do 35 minutes all at once. You can do your 15 minutes, fill out your R2S, wait until later to do your 20 minutes, whatever you want, however you want to do it. But 35 minutes is what is expected of you for each day this week. And especially today, because it's today's lesson. The second thing that I want to point out is that we are going to be practicing and perhaps recording your demonstration speeches. So, for example, you have a lot of time at home right now that you can be preparing for your recording your demonstration speech. Um, what I want from you today, especially, is I want you to kind of write down things that you want to make sure that you would do in your demonstration speech. Um, we talked a little bit about an introduction and how your introduction should kind of grab the reader. And remember in my example introduction wasn't very good because it didn't do a great job of grabbing, not the reader, grabbing the audience. So we want to grab our audience right away. So I want you to think about how are you going to grab your audience when you do your demonstration speech. Now, some of you may have had time to record your demonstration speech. However, you might need to think about if there's any way that you can add to it or things that you can do. Not necessarily that you just scrap your whole thing, but to think about, did you have an introduction? Do you need to record something that is going to be an introduction to your demonstration speech? Or are you going to do your introduction and then we'll watch your demonstration speech? That kind of thing. So I want you to not be, just thinking you don't have to do anything right now. You still need to do something right now. You need to be thinking about what you need to make sure you need to have in your demonstration speech and what your introduction is going to be. And I expect that each one of you, when we touch base at 1 o'clock, is going to be able to tell me that. So, what is it that you have written down that you need to do? And what do you think you might do for an introduction? How are you going to grab your audience um, in order to keep and hold their attention? The other thing is that um, I asked you to resubmit your um, handout when you were absolutely sure when you had made that you were absolutely sure that you didn't need to make any changes to it after you saw your grade and if you saw any comments from me. So if you did not resubmit your handout, I want you to make sure that you have that all squared away and taken care of so that you can turn that in. All right. So those are the big things that I want you to do. I really want you to work really hard this week, especially with your demonstration and being ready to do your demonstration speech because the next week when we get back is when I have scheduled that we're going to present them. So, of course, we're going to need to talk about that if that is actually something that we can do. Um, so, think about that as well. Um, Obviously, I was not planning on having virtual learning for a week before you did your demonstration speeches. So, we can talk about that. Okay. Um, so, hopefully, you remember what it is that you need to be ready to do and what you need to read. And I will talk to you at 1 o'clock today. Bye.